Right here. Oh, this is a genius right here. What up, bud? Want to be all rude today? You're in a better mood?
It's a great day today.
It's better than last day I saw you? But yeah, that's actually the guy that came and let me know that I was allowed to stand here. And then came back 5 minutes later with female officers telling me I was trespassing. But clearly it's public. They'll figure it out. Do better, Sally. Sad that he's still got a job. What's up, everybody? It's Danny from the Constitution State here today. I hope everybody's having a good day. This video takes place in New Britain. It involves the New Britain Police Department. It involves the New Britain Courthouse and the New Britain Court Marshals, who are all lying, loser tyrants. After I went and they arrested me, there was a few different people that went to that park garage, and a bunch of people had been in and out of there and had no problems. This was the second time I went back, and look at what happened. The same exact thing that happened the first time. They were playing games with the car alarm. So they obviously didn't learn anything, and this is obviously a tactic they use all the time. Like, cuffed her and arrested her. Like, she may have needed to be arrested, but he didn't need to break her phone. Like, he's just a douche. So, this is what happened last time. This is the same thing. I was standing out here, a random alarm started going off, and then they ran up on me. So, let's see. They're gonna accuse me of doing that? Iran, I appreciate that. Well, Douglas, the news called it an ambush. So somebody's playing with the keys. That's what they're doing. He's sitting on the other side of the door, playing with the keys. Should probably be doing what we pay you to do. This is just like last time. Just like last time. Consent to government, absolutely. If nobody's checked out the visit of why we're here, I would. Semper Fi, as always, dude, I appreciate you. Good afternoon, John. I appreciate the $15, bro. You're the man. Everybody's been asking for updates on all these videos and all my arrests, so I'm going through and we are doing it. Remember Fatty here? The one that comes down and lets me know I'm allowed to be there and I just can't cross the gate, all common sense stuff, then turns around and goes and lies to the female officers. I mean, it was pretty clear from day one that this was a setup, but it just gets clearer and clearer. It was weird because when they arrested me, they said I was breaching peace and I was interfering and I was trespassing. That's why they were arresting me. I mean, they clearly said it. But then when they got to court, it wasn't because I was trespassing or this or that. It was simply because they thought I was breaking into cars because one car alarm's going off. And as we can see, it's the second car in here. Now, whose car could that be? Oh, go figure. The same manager who lied to the female cops, who doesn't even understand the basics of his job, never mind the basics of our rights. And even though he was caught lying red-handed, even though he lied in here multiple times, even though they all lied in here multiple times, somehow the department found no wrongdoing. So not only did he come down and say that I was allowed to be there, then he turned around and went and told everybody else that I was refusing to leave and I was being a douche, which just simply isn't true. But then he turned around and was setting his car alarm off. Watch in the video, watch when the car alarm magically goes off. So we went to court for this. The first time we went to court, they arrested Tyrant Slayer for absolutely nothing. The marshals lied, made up a bunch of stuff, and arrested him. And he ended up beating the case and all the charges because they were liars. And ever since then, we can't bring our phones into court. Not because we did something wrong, not because we got in trouble, just because O'Donovan Murphy says so. And after 18 months, we had a suppression hearing for the Terry stop. In Connecticut, they're trying to say if you do not give your name during a Terry stop, you're quote-unquote interfering. So we did the suppression hearing. My lawyer only put in this video. He didn't put in any other evidence. The state called in Peachy here on the right and one witness. They allowed Peachy here on the right to come in and lie on the stand. Even though everything she said's on camera and it's easily proven she lied, they still allowed her to do it. We had to end the first day of the suppression hearing early because the prosecutor hadn't reviewed any of the footage or looked over any of the evidence for the case. She was just going off of what the state had and these lying police reports. That's all she was going off of. Well, go to say we lost the hearing. They wanted me to take 6 months of probation under a special plea that could be appealed. My lawyer really wanted me to take it. And I said, nope. The female cops tried to say I was detained as soon as they walked up. And the judge said, no, he wasn't detained until you physically didn't let him leave. Even though the judge clearly stated that's when the detention started. And the questions and what they're quote unquote saying I was interfering for were all asked while I wasn't being detained. They're going to move forward. They said I was interfering because I didn't give them my name while I was detained. Except they didn't ask me my name when I was detained. So clearly I wasn't doing those things. This is what blows my mind too. My lawyer comes out one day and says, oh boy, the prosecutor really doesn't like you. She's got a personal grudge against you. And I was like, for what? I don't even know this lady. And he said, because somebody years ago went and put her address on Facebook. I said, okay, well, what's that have to do with me? I've never done that or anything like that. And he said, oh, she just doesn't like public figures. And I'm like, that makes no sense. They told me she's so smart and she went to school for all this time and oh, blah, blah, blah. And I didn't. And they told me this 2 years ago. And all she's done for 2 years is show me what a bad person she is and how dumb she really is. Because there is literally nothing here. She's strictly going off of police reports that clearly don't line up with the body camera footage. Like if she can't pick those lies out and those problems out of that, she shouldn't be a prosecutor. They denied me a speedy trial and they forced me to get counsel and bring counsel in when I said, I do not want to, I would like to represent myself. And clearly New Britain Police Department thinks they're above the law. If they comfortably did this to me, imagine how many other people they've blatantly set up, they've blatantly lied on just to get them arrested for doing absolutely nothing wrong. And none of these clowns have been held accountable. And
How you doing, sir?
good, how are you?
Good. Anything I can help you with?
No.
You're good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
Thank you.
You know not to go past that though, right?
Yeah.
Just want to make sure. We had a rough day today.
So we all saw how he came and he just asked if I was okay and if I needed anything and if I knew not to pass the thing, which I said, yup, and I pointed to the sign and he said, okay, and he pointed to the sign. So I don't know why he would say this. It says here, it should be noted that Manager Fatty, who was in the parking garage, saw the suspect and was made aware of him scaring the caller. Upon seeing the suspect, manager advised the suspect that he needed to leave the garage. The male informed Manager Fatty that he would not be leaving the garage, which would stop him causing fear to the below listed employees. That's all a lie. That's a blatant lie. That never happened. Oh, let's go down to the bottom here. And they even came into court and said this. Every second of this interaction was documented. Everything I said is on my camera or their cameras. I never said this, but the police station, the prosecutor, even my own lawyer allowed her to come into court and lie on the stand. It should be noted that while in booking room, P.O. Legassi stated he was talking to Daniel, and during their conversation, Daniel acknowledged that he was looking for negative police reactions to stir issues between the community and police. Daniel stated he had no ties to New Britain and came to the city after his followers on Facebook told him to come to New Britain to record the police. No. I never said that. I said that members of the community were telling me what a bad police department they were and that I needed to go there. So I did. I never said anything about stirring relations or doing any of that. Yet they all allowed her to come into court and say it on the stand like it's true. They set the car alarm off so they could blame me for it.
trespassing inside
Yeah,
the garage.
I was not past
have an
there.
ID on
Listen,
you?
I'm not giving you ID for
We
nothing.
have to get some
Listen,
ID.
you don't for what? No,
Dude,
you
you're
We have you.
trespassing.
trespassing is past this.
We're not gonna argue.
Okay, so go check your cameras.
Okay.
I'm not
We
going
need
to say
an
anything
ID
else.
from
Okay, I'm
you.
not going to say
We
anything
need
else.
your ID.
I'm not talking. Nobody saw me back there. I didn't go back there. Go check your cameras. ID.
Was he actually in the police area?
You should check before you come asking for ID. You don't even have your story straight.
He was originally circling the police area, then he went back there and people started coming out.
So I wasn't back there.
If he was in the police area, it's restricted. He's 130.
Yeah. Beyond that is restricted.
22 dispatch. Is that yes, he was in the area, or no, he was only on 30 feet?
He's seen me. I never went back there.
Saw you for a second. I don't know how long you've been here.
It was called into us that he was in the police area reporting the women from records.
Which was right here. I was standing in the same spot. You were here when they came out. But
Do you have a phone on you?
Also, he was in front of Bentley's car.
Oh, I don't have a phone.
Third floor here.
Do you mind telling dispatcher to see exactly where if he actually was or not?
oh, and let's not forget there's no police reports anymore. Everything's narratives. It's a story. It's not a factual statement anymore. The charges: breach of peace in the second degree and interfering with a police officer. On Friday, October 21st, 2022, at approximately 16:09 hours, I was dispatched to 35 Bank Street. After the complaint, city employee who works within the NBPD contacted the NBPD to report that a white male wearing a black hoodie with white jeans, boots, was standing at a catwalk entrance to the department recording her and coworkers' vehicles and appeared to be looking into vehicles. And the car alarm is the only thing they brought up in court. They shifted the whole thing in court. They weren't there because I was trespassing. And they weren't there because I was quote unquote interfering. They said they were only there because of vehicles and they thought I was breaking into vehicles, which is 100% false. They don't even talk about vehicles when they arrest me or the car alarms. They just realized they had nothing else and what they had wasn't going to stick. Upon arrival, I could hear an audible vehicle alarm going off from the area the male was standing. I made contact with the male suspect, who stated he would not provide his identification because he did not commit any crimes and he was not in a restricted area. He was informed that he was being detained while officers investigated the breach of peace by the call and the complainant, the potential trespassing. His dispatch stated he was by undercover police vehicles. Oh no. Multiple times throughout the investigation, the male refused to provide his identification and attempted to walk away from officers, informing us that we would have to walk with him because he did not need to wait 10, 15, 20 minutes for the officers to investigate. Based on the male refusing to provide identification and refusing officers' orders to not walk away from the area he was in, it was determined he would be charged with interfering with an officer. Well, this is more BS. They had no reason to detain me, and they never notified me I was being detained until I went to walk away the first time, which they should have let me walk, and they should have walked with me, if anything, because they had no reason to detain me. They got a call, they showed up, they saw no crime, and they took these employees' word and ran with it. I never followed those ladies. They never even said hi. That's all BS. They were so scared and they had to walk with each other to get in each other's vehicles and make sure they left safe, except the lady was standing there behind the pillar when I went to walk away. She didn't look scared. And yeah, after 10 minutes, I did say I wasn't going to wait 10, 20, 30 minutes because I had already been detained 10 minutes. What do you mean? They wanted to go check the cameras 10, 15 minutes in. They should have did that off rip. They did come into court and say I was detained from the minute they walked up, but they didn't tell me. The judge said, no, he was detained the minute he went to walk away, and you guys refused to let him leave. They're trying to say that I interfered because I didn't give my name when I wasn't detained. They're trying to say in Connecticut, you have to give your name if you're detained. Even though it's not a quote-unquote stop and ID state and we have no statutes, they will wrap it up in interfering, and that's what they always do. When we did the suppression here and they came in, one officer and one witness, and she didn't lie there. She stated I was just standing there with my camera. I didn't do anything. I didn't walk towards them. I didn't do anything wrong. So them and the prosecution tried to claim that I walked towards her when I walked away. I didn't walk towards her at all. I walked away. All of these cops are criminal. Every single one of them. I could never figure out why the female cops approached me like they did. And I think I got it now because A, Fatty lied to them. They were under the impression that I wasn't going to leave. I had already been asked to leave and I was being a dick when that wasn't the case. And I think that's why they came charging down and asking for ID, despite later on them saying they approached me nicely and this and that. And no, they approached me and demanded my ID. That's exactly what happened.
I can go check the cameras too.
Yeah, I already told them to do that.
You don't tell them to do anything.
Well,
You're a nobody here.
like you are?
You're a civilian.
You're somebody. Oh, so we're below you?
No, you're
Is that what you're saying?
You can't tell the officers what to do.
It was a helpful tip. They want to stand here and waste all this time trying to figure out if I was trespassing. Just go check the camera. This could be over. I mean, I know I wasn't back there. I got it on camera.
Now that we're aware of it.
Why is your body cam flash and yours doesn't?
It's none of your business.
Yeah, it is. Isn't it supposed to be on when she deals with the public?
None of your business.
Isn't it supposed to be on when you deal with the public?
FOI it. You'll see if it was on or not.
I will. Why you got such an attitude?
After the day we had,
It doesn't matter.
it matters.
No, it doesn't. If you're a public servant, you ain't supposed to just treat people like shit because you had a bad day. Take a day off. Take a personal day.
Yeah.
No excuse. No excuse.
The cameras pulled up for this gentleman?
What's your first name at least?
I'm not going to answer any questions.
No?
No. Can I get your guys' name and badge numbers?
Yeah, it's PC's 548.
You?
Gordon 554.
I'll ask him when he gets off the
Yeah,
phone.
you can talk to him.
You know what he's going to say? It's none of your business. I'm above the law.
No, yeah, we saw that.
Well, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing.
We're gonna keep walking with you. But
You
we're
can.
not, we're not
You have
sure.
that. You have
we
that.
Need you,
You have that
if
right.
You could stay back
Well,
over
am I
here.
detained? Are you detaining?
we're trying to figure
no,
out
no,
this
no. It's
investigation,
a.
yes.
So I'm detained.
Yes.
For nothing. I just need.
Because-
Hold on. Wait. Say it. I'm detained for what?
Detain as we're figuring out the investigation.
And I'm
whether
not
you've
free to
been-
go. I'm not free to walk.
No.
You want to call, I don't know, one of your,
Alright, so I'm gonna be
control
upfront with you.
bosses
This is
are
what's
available.
gonna happen, okay? We're gonna have you stand over here. He's gonna go check the
Well, you guys got like a. I'm not staying here for
You're
more
not-
than.
You're not free to leave right
Okay,
now
so
while
I'm
we're
not standing here for 10, 20, 30
Okay.
minutes because.
You're gonna stand here while he's checking the cameras.
Until
As
we-
soon as
until
he's
we're
done,
done with the
then we'll
No,
go from
I'm gonna
there.
walk and do what I gotta
so
do.
You can't
And
do
then
it.
So you're gonna
That
touch
would-
me?
that would be
You're gonna touch me?
interfering.
We're telling
Interfering is
yes.
physical. You can't charge me with interfering when I'm trying
We
Well,
to.
are
not-
investigating.
You're illegally detaining
We're
me.
not going to argue with you. You are legally detained right now.
Legally
You cannot
under what
walk away
law?
while we
What law did I
investigate
break?
if you were trespassing
What
in
law
our garage
am I
or not.
suspected of breaking? What law?
Trespassing and for violating.
Listen,
the
we're not
area.
going to
Okay,
argue.
but
We're
I
gonna
didn't
check
do
the
that.
cameras and go from there.
You have
that's
no
what-
proof.
That's what we're trying to figure out.
Okay, so now I gotta sit here.
Until we're done with
And
our
waste
Yes,
my
you
time?
do. Yeah, and you're making it bigger than it needs to be.
No, it's not. What do you mean?
Listen, wait a couple minutes.
What do
If
you
were-
mean?
If you were standing here and you did nothing wrong, just wait. He'll check. the
I already
cameras
told
and
you I
you'll be free to
wasn't.
leave. Okay. Okay.
I already told
need to
you.
check. So just hang out with us for a few minutes while we do this, and
Hang
then
out.
you'll be free to leave.
Yep, hang out.
What's up?
So.
They're detaining me for absolutely nothing. Detained for nothing. You guys know you can't do that.
We don't know if he was in there or not, but.
Put it down. Let's go. Put it down. You're under arrest. We're not playing games here. Trespassing. You have no business being here. There's no business. That's fine. There's tons of signs. You're trespassing and then you're interfering.
I'm not trespassing.
And then you're interfering.
It's right here, trespassing, guys. No, public property.
We'll tag this for you. Okay. All right.
Do whatever you're gonna do.
Might still be recording.
That's fine.
Got some Nazis out here.
Okay.
Arrested for being in a public hearing with what?
We're done with their investigation when they tried to interview you.
I talked to them. What do you mean?
You
We're done.
refuse to give
I'm not
us
done.
your
I'm not
name.
talking.
I don't have to give you my name.
That's fine. We're done talking. We're done. You have a car?
Our cars are on the other side of the garage.
Looks
so-
like public parking.
All right, so sit him down here and then go get your car. Sit down.
Well, are we gonna wait for the guy to get back that's checking the
You
cameras to
sit here.
prove
I don't need to.
that
Sit
I
down.
wasn't on the property?
Sit down.
I can't sit down if they're molesting me.
Well, they're checking your property, but I'm not
Oh,
going to
but
sit so you don't
you
fall.
know this is illegal.
Okay. Well, we'll decide. Let's see.
I mean, not you. The courts are gonna decide.
That's fine. You're absolutely right. 100%.
You have no weapons on you?
I'm not gonna answer any questions.
Okay.
Said that we got some higher ups out here and they allow this.
They're doing their job.
Their job is to harass people on public property.
Public property.
This is.
What's your
Where's
business?
public parking?
What's
My
your
business is you guys. That is my business. And that's not up to you to decide.
Also, all those vehicles confirmed insurance.
Well, we'll see. Got some straight up tyrants. And there's like 10 or 12 pages of these lies, guys. This is Manager Fatty right here. And he said, Broden and Peachy were speaking with the male suspect, explaining why they were there and the complaint they received, asking for ID. I was refusing. He said he walked away as I was questioning them about their body cameras and requesting that the officers check the parking garage cameras. I'm giving them the answer. I'm giving them the answer to all this. And instead of taking it and doing it, he wanted to stand there and go back and forth, like he stated right here. I told the male he doesn't get to tell the officers what to do and blah, 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 FOIA. I returned to the building while Manager Farrell was showing up, and then I was made aware he was being arrested. This is Peachy. This is the more aggressive of the females. I think Broden was the only one there that had it spot on. When I went to walk away, she said, oh, we were going to walk with you. If that's how you felt, you could have done that. Detaining me wasn't the answer, but Peachy wanted to detain me. And she said, on the summary below, date and time, dispatched, call the report guy, in the parking garage near the police entrance, recording, looking into vehicles, and she was fearful of his behaviors just for that. 2 other individuals contacted the NBPD front desk to report this male as well. Based on statements provided by 3 employees who were fearful of the male suspect behavior, the male suspect, who was later positively identified as me, refusing to provide identification and officer's instructions, he was charged. It says here, narrative report, same thing we read before, male standing at the thing, recording. Remember how they keep bringing up, I was just recording. So it says it right here, based on the male refusing to identify, which isn't a crime in Connecticut, and refusing orders to not walk away, which I did not refuse. I stayed there both times. It was determined he would be charged with interfering with an officer. And they all say this too. It should be made aware that Manager Fatty, who was in the garage at the time, saw the suspect and was made aware of him scaring the caller. Upon seeing the suspect, Manager Fatty, the suspect, that he needed to leave the garage. The male informed Manager Fatty that he would not be leaving the garage, which would stop him causing fear to the below listed employees, which is all made up. They keep saying 3 employees, but they were saying 2 in court. It says 3 in here. The third one has nothing, no information at all. So I'm pretty sure the third one is Manager Fatty. And we hear it all the time. Police can't be the complainant and this and that. And I've asked everybody and I can't find that anywhere in the law. I don't see how it can't be a conflict of interest because they're arresting you for their own personal gain. They make money off of it. It goes on their little record. It benefits them arresting you. So without a complainant, I don't see how it's not a conflict of interest. And remember, in every other report where it says he asked me to leave, this is his statement right here. I exited the police department. I was in plain clothes at the time, currently not working, so he shouldn't have been doing anything there with me. Instead of there crying, he should have just went home. It would have worked out a lot better for him. I was walking to my vehicle, which was parked on the 3rd floor of the parking garage. As I was walking to my car, I observed a male standing near the opening, which looks on towards the exit door, looking into the area where the police personnel parked. The male was holding what appeared to be a cell phone attached to a gimbal. And right here, guys, I walked over to the male and I asked him if he needed any assistance. And I don't know why he says no like that. I didn't say it like that. I literally said, no, I'm good. Male suspect did not appear to be wearing clothing which is commonly worn with the media, nor did he have any media identification showing or media-style vehicle in the area. Based on the recent events that occurred in Bristol, Connecticut, where the Bristol officers were ambushed and murdered, the male's actions were concerning. The male remained in his position and did not move. I pointed to the restricted area sign under where he was standing, which appeared to be silently understood by the male by his body language. I'm pretty sure I answered him too. I pointed at the sign when he said it. He only pointed up to it because I pointed to it. I walked back to my vehicle for a moment and I was still uneasy with what he was doing and where he was standing. The male positioned himself close to the cement pillar, which concealed part of his body, while he was pointing his cellular phone towards the exit door. The police department has also received complaints in the past, trespassing in the parking garage. I observed 2 officers approach the male. It was then that I was made aware that 2 of our records employees, blank, blank, called dispatch regarding the male. See, and they lied right there too, because they said before that he was made aware before. That's why he approached me, was because he was made aware. That's what they said. And now he's claiming he wasn't made aware until after the female officers were there. That's weird, because the female officer said that he went up there and told them that he asked me to leave and blah, blah, blah. He was a caller. How many people do you think this guy has done this to? How many people do you think this guy has just blatantly lied and done this to? So top here is the charges, and this is the people that called. This is their complainants. They say they're citizen complaints, but they came from state employees. The first one, they used the police department's address, police department's phone number. Same thing for the second one, but the third one, well, technically 4, has absolutely nothing. You know why? Because that's that plainclothes loser manager fatty. The contents of all the camera footage, the body-worn camera footage, and recordings for dispatch are all available for review and consistent with what is documented by Officer Pesci in her arrest report. There's also an edited video of the encounter that is believed to be uploaded to YouTube by Kokoska on the page called The Constitution State. And this is what happens when they investigate themselves. How did they not catch all these lies? I mean, I don't have 6 months of training, and I haven't been doing this for 18, 20 years, like some of these guys, and I can pick it out. Now, you guys heard them say multiple times that they were scared that I was recording, that I was standing there with my phone, and it was scary, right? Arrest review. After reviewing the arrest report, related supplement, body-worn camera footage, and surveillance footage, the following facts and circumstances exist. The first one, officers did not proactively seek out or stop me for being in the garage filming. That's exactly what they did. They literally refused to let me leave twice and then arrested me after they told me I'd be fine. That's exactly what they did. Officers were dispatched to the location after phone calls were received by dispatch and the FDO. Yes, phone calls from people that worked at the department. They weren't citizen complaints like they say they were. This is a setup. Blank and blank provided Detective Lopa with sworn statements regarding my behavior, both stating they were concerned, making it clear my actions caused them to be alarmed. Information related to the responding officers was the male individual was acting suspicious, filming, and possibly looking into vehicles. Okay, so that's perfect. So they relayed that I wasn't committing a crime, because none of those are illegal. Oh, Peachy and Broden arrived on scene and attempted to speak with me. If they didn't approach me like they did, they would have got further. But when the first words out of your mouth are, "Give me your ID," I have nothing to say to you. And it also says, I did not cooperate, and I refused to provide identification to the officers who had a lawful purpose for approaching me. They absolutely did not have a lawful purpose. A call alone means nothing. They even admit that they show up and they saw nothing suspicious, that I wasn't doing anything wrong, so they had no reason to approach me. Yeah, they can approach me, but they shouldn't have detained me. They shouldn't have arrested me. It says it right here, based on my lack of cooperation, because I wouldn't help them investigate me. That's exactly what it says. I was placed under arrest by Manager Farrell. It says I was initially charged with breach of peace in the 2nd degree and interfering. Yeah, and the cops did say trespassing. The only problem with that was I think they actually reviewed the footage before they charged me, and they saw that I didn't trespass. And then what happened is the prosecutor got these BS statements here where it says that they asked me to leave, and it says this and that, which all isn't true. And I'm pretty sure that's why she put interfering back on. But that's what happens when we have lazy, biased prosecutors. It says right here, I spoke with Miss Palmise, who informed me she would be pursuing additional trespassing charges. Yeah, because she didn't review anything. It's also important to note that at times during the encounter, Kokoska and members of the department engaged in routine discourse regarding the validity and reason for the stop. Kokoska consistently challenged and questioned the reason for being stopped and eventual arrest, while also insulting members of the department. During the discourse, there were 2 distinct occasions where members of the department engaged in similar conversation. They are as follows. Well, who wouldn't question being kidnapped? Who wouldn't question cops coming up and doing things they're not allowed to do? You'd be a dummy. And it says the 2 incidents here where it says Manager Fatty, who they keep saying is off duty at the time, trying to get him like further from it, told me I was a nobody and blah, blah. And that's not the only time. There was more. And then, while escorting me to a police cruiser, I began telling members of the department they were only tough because they were in numbers and a badge and gun, make anybody tough, which is all absolutely true. Those are facts. At which time Manager Farrell told me he takes dumps bigger than me. And he did say something like that. I can't remember off the top of my head. And this is one of the best parts. In conclusion, Kokoska was not taken into custody by officers proactively stopping him on their own for recording normal police activities or surrounding areas. So at no point were my activities stopped by them. It can all be confirmed by my own video, which is a lie, because my activities were absolutely stopped by them. Just because it wasn't in this location or this location, it was at this location. That they absolutely did. And again, this is what happens when you have fools investigating fools. Aside from the comments made differently points by members of the MBPD, I find the actions taken by the officers to be reasonable and within policy. While our personnel should make a conscious effort to avoid engaging in questionable banter, I do not think comments above rise to the level of unbecoming conduct, as the personnel involved continued with their duties and did not continue in constant back and forth. It doesn't matter if they continue or not. You could literally say one word and get unbecoming of an officer. And right here, they admitted again on Friday, October 21st, 2022, Daniel Kokoska was taken into custody by members of the Patrol Division for breach of peace in the second and interfering with an officer after dispatch received complaints from non-sworn personnel of Kokoska's filming employees of the department, sworn and non-sworn, as they were entering and exiting the building from the catwalk entrance that leads to the secure parking area inside the whatever that is garage. Officers responding to the area were advised by dispatch that Kokoska had been trespassing and possibly looking into vehicles in the immediate area. Yeah, except everybody they called, everybody they talked to on the radio, the phone, nobody could say I trespassed. There was nobody ever that said I trespassed. They just made that up. And this is the email I got a week later from the chief. Good afternoon. My name is Chief. I'm returning your call. The incident which you had been arrested, assigned to the administrative. And this is where he admits video recording and taking photos on public property is legal. He said if I want to submit a complaint, he sent it. I got another email a week later saying that if I put one in or not, they were investigating it because he doesn't deal with that type of behavior. He doesn't tolerate it. And they did their own investigation, and they found no wrongdoing at all. And I talked to the chief, and I said, so what's next? And he said, nothing. I'm the highest. There's no civilian review board. There's no nothing. So somehow these guys that claim they're so good at investigating and solving crimes couldn't catch all the stuff they did wrong here. Not one thing. So they can't be that great at their jobs. I really think the whole thing probably would have been different if Fatty here didn't lie. If he didn't lie to the female cops before they came down and completely fabricated something that didn't happen. If he didn't start playing with his car alarm, because we do know it was him. And as we saw, they did it the second time I went there. So it appears to be a tactic they use to set people up. And yet, who's the one going to court? I'm the one still going to court for this made-up BS. And these criminals are still out there doing this to people every single day. And I added another video, and just so you guys can see that they don't even understand what a Terry stop is. This next clip is from Game Buster. He did absolutely nothing wrong. The dude that he lives with got mad that he walked across a wet floor and called the cops. They detained him and forced him to ID. Look at how bad this lady is. She claims he doesn't know the laws and she does and blah, blah. He's absolutely correct. She is not. They don't suspect him of doing absolutely nothing. The caller even said it was just an argument. There was no anything. Game Buster walked outside to get away from it. And this is what he had to deal with. Then when he went to the department to complain, the manager said, oh, well, a Terry stop and blah. This wasn't a Terry stop. What did they have on him? What did they suspect him of doing? So what they're doing is just stopping people for absolutely nothing, and they're claiming it's a Terry stop because they don't understand what a Terry stop is, and then they're violating somebody's rights to make their job easier, as she claims at the end.
I know when you have to identify yourself and when you don't. If you were some random person walking down the sidewalk...
And I said my name is Mark. That's all you need to know.
No, it's not. We need your name and your date of birth.
No, you don't.
In the report, yes, you were involved in some sort of argument.
Nope. That's not true.
Okay. You know
I'm
how to
not
do my job better than I do, right?
No, I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just going on my constitutional rights. No, this is my This is my constitutional rights,
no,
though.
It's not. You
yes, it is.
You're part of an incident. Go ahead, pull up whatever you think it is, but you're wrong.
No. See, I'm chill.
Sure.
That's the thing. See, I don't even know what happened either. I was up there and I asked if it's wet, and I walked, and then he started getting all upset at me. So, I don't know. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go downstairs.
part of the problem that we're here investigating.
No,
That's
I
why you
didn't.
have to
I came
identify.
downstairs. No. I came downstairs and standing out here by myself, not bothering no one. You know what I mean? So.
I didn't say you were causing.
No, I know.
problems.
I'm saying I just got out of the situation because I didn't want a situation. Because
Understand.
it's
And now
not
you're
right.
making a situation of something that could have already been resolved. You could have already been on your way.
I mean, I could be on my way anyways. It doesn't. I didn't do anything wrong.
No, because you're here as part of an investigation.
But I didn't break the law.
Again, I'm not saying you are. We have to talk to both parties, get everybody's information. He called for whatever reason. If we have additional.
Well,
questions, we have
that's
to
on
ask
him then. That's on him.
Correct, but you were part of it.
But I didn't do nothing.
Says you. People don't call the cops for nothing. Obviously, something happened between you guys. He got pissed off enough or whatever to call us. Right or wrong?
I guess. I don't know why he would call
We're here
because.
now. So what are we doing? We're investigating whatever did or didn't happen.
Yeah, but
Right? It
I
sounds
didn't
like
do
it's
nothing.
totally minor. Nothing really.
It's
minor
totally
argument.
my. It was
It's
literally
not-
just
it's
arguing.
to argue, right?
and him
However,
calling me names and stuff, and I walking
if
outside.
You argue and you call us, we have to document that we came out, and we have to document who we talked to, and that is why we need your name. That is all.
Is there a supervisor available, please?
For what?
Do you have your name and badge number?
My name is Officer Eldridge. My badge number is 510.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
I don't want to be rude. I'm just going because I know my rights. That's all.
Well, what you think you know is not how it works. Your rights, you're correct, and if you were some random person not involved in this, you don't have to give us your name. That is correct. However, you're involved in some sort of incident that we're investigating. Therefore, you need to provide your name. That's how it works. Otherwise, it's you interfering with our investigation.
Interference is a physical act.
That's not true.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
It is.
That-
I'm not going to stop my
I'm
radio.
not going to argue with you. You
I'm
don't
not
know how
trying to
do my job.
argue.
You don't know the law.
Why
You
you
are
yell? I'm
incorrect.
sorry. Please don't yell at me. I'm not yelling.
Because I'm trying to be so patient with you, and you're not providing your name. The next step is you're just going to come in with us if you're refusing to identify yourself. That's how it works.
Is there? Are you? You're a corporal. Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, I seen the stripe. That's why at first.
To identify himself.
We're gonna get arrested. We'll identify him as
I'm going to go with Rosso. To
No, he called and I came down and I didn't commit a crime. That's why. But if you need,
I need you to listen. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not gonna play any games. You keep that phone on all you want. I got this.
no, I know, it's
Now
fine.
listen.
That's the only reason I'm
If
doing
you
it.
don't identify yourself, you're going to jail.
Okay, Mark
Bottom line.
Highland.
So are we going up? Are we going
Mark
in the car?
Highland.
Are we going in it? I need ID. Where is it?
Okay, I'm getting my ID under threat of arrest.
Stand over here so that thing doesn't fall on us.
Yeah, I'm getting my ID on threat of arrest.
Thank you.
Well, I got to put it on there just in case.
Whatever you gotta do, I don't care. It doesn't really matter. See, that's all we have to do is just identify people. when
Yeah,
we're
that's all.
investigating them.
I didn't do nothing wrong, so that's fine by
but
me.
They gotta investigate that.
I know, but I know the laws and literally you have to commit a
You don't know that law,
crime.
and then you can learn that law if you like.
Oh, I have.
This law.
I know it.
Okay.
I know the First Amendment. You know all 5 points of the First Amendment?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I gave my ID.
That was hard.
It wasn't hard. I just wanted to make sure because you know what I mean. I mean, I know my rights, so it's like I just wanted to make sure everything was okay. And then I seen that I thought he was a captain or a sergeant or whatever you want to call it, supervisor. So
Oh.
and plus I didn't want to make a big deal out of it. I don't want to go to jail, so it's like, well,
You already elevated it for no reason.
well, I'm gonna.
So I hope you understand that in the future, if you're involved in something that we're investigating, you have to provide your name. It's just so much easier off the bat
Oh.
to do that, okay?
Okay. Well, after this is resolved, then yeah, I'll figure everything out. Did he give ID too?
Yes.
Okay.
Warrants or something?
No,
Why didn't you want to give me your name?
because my rights. If you didn't arrest, reasonable, articulable
saying
suspicion.
But
But if I'm not
Listen to
in
me.
the middle of a
You're-
crime or committing or about to commit a crime,
You're missing the part where you have to give your name and date of birth to the police.
you don't have to
Yes, you
just
do.
because.
Yes,
If
you
a
do.
cop asks you to give your
Involved in
ID,
an incident that we're
Yes, you
investigating.
do.
Yes,
No, you
you
don't.
do.
That's the law. You can look it up on your phone.
if a cop comes up to me and says I have to give ID, I have to give ID. That's what you're saying?
Is investigating an incident, and they say that you're involved. You told us you were involved. That was your words, not ours. You said you were involved.
Oh, because I said yeah, because he started with me, yeah.
So that's why we got called here.
Uh-huh.
Then you have to give your name and ID.
Okay, I'll look that up then. Okay. No, I'll give you guys the benefit of
Because I
that,
don't
definitely.
want you to be yelling at police officers, and if he's
Oh, I'm not yelling.
and he's like freaking out and he like body slams you or something like that on the ground, like we don't want any of that. I want you to be as safe as possible.
Yeah.
The best thing for that is you to know your rights exactly. Okay, so make sure you look into that. All right.
Oh, I do it all the time. That's why.
Okay. Because you don't want to arrest people for nothing when you have no warrants or anything like that.
Exactly. And I know I don't because I had one from like 9 years